Hello everybody!
Hello!
Hello! Abby and Sam here from Red Moon Creative Arts Theatre, and today we're going to be face painting Sam as a tiger.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Sam?
Yeah.
And while we're doing that, we'll be chatting about
Tiger.
different types of tigers that you'll find in books because, as we know, it's World Book Day coming up! Woo! So we're going to have a little chat about tigers, get some face painting done, and have a bit of fun. I hope this is useful for anybody who ever wanted to face paint themselves as a tiger. Okay, so let's get started.
Yay. Hello guys, we're going to mostly use Rashta.
A Rashta orange, everybody. So we're doing a tiger. We're going to have a lot of orange involved. That's going to be our base colour. We also have these three colours. Can you remember what they are in Irish, Sammy?
Jarrett and I can't remember.
Jarrett.
The white one and the black one.
Black one is
Dove.
Dove. And Fawn is our white one. We will be using also these types of sponges. They're called wedge sponges. And a medium flat brush and a small round brush. And those will help with our finer details and maybe getting some of the paint onto the face so it's kind of compact and opaque, which means full of flat colour. Also a little bit of warm water. I like it to be warm because I think it helps to move the paint better on the face and out of the palette onto your brush.
Here we go, guys.
I'm going to start face painting Sam now. And the first colour we're going to start with is the orange right here. Yep, there we go. There is the orange. And I'll be using a sponge to apply it. There's our sponge. Dipping it into the warm water and swirling it around onto the orange there.
And show it.
And
Show it.
we are going to pop it onto Sam's face. When you have a bit more space on a face,
Oh, that's cool. Oh my god.
I think you can do the ears
Be very quick now.
very quick. This is quite quick. The tiger is actually nicely quick to do. So I'm going to pop this on
Like
here. We want to
speed.
keep some areas where we're going to pop a bit of white. If you're not used to working around the eyes, then don't go quite so close as I'm going there. I'm not going to go around, open your mouth a little bit there, Sam. I am not going to go around the muzzle area, which is around the mouth here, too much, because again, that will be filled in with a little bit of white. And we will build this picture as we go along, as we always do in any other form of art. You build your picture. The next colour we are applying,
White.
I'm going to be adding the white above the eyes here. Down the nose, from the forehead down to the nose, around the muzzle and down here, there to kind of highlight the shape of the tiger's face and tiger's traditional markings. Tigers are so beautiful to look at.
Yes.
So it's a great
Except
face painting.
Except they will eat you.
Except they will eat you. It's a great face painting character to know how to do, and it's actually relatively simple and quick. I have got a lot of white onto this sponge here, and I'm going to start adding it here. Close your eyes, please, Sam. I'm going to pop it in here like this, and we're just going to fade it out as it gets up a little bit higher. Now I will be going back over this with my brush to make it a little bit stronger, more opaque. Now I'm going to start doing, again with the sponge, we're going to start adding a little bit of white on the forehead. You can see we've put Sammy's hair back there already. The bobble, because we haven't been to a hairdresser in a little while.
And my hair is so long.
Your hair is so long. You do face painting at in blocks of colour. Blending it out a little bit around the edges. You can see even by just dabbing the sponge onto the face, you get quite nice texture there, which adds to the visual, which means what you're looking at. It adds to how nice it is to look at. If you've got a bit of texture, something a little bit different going on. Have you got an itchy nose, Sam?
Yeah.
While we're doing a little bit of white here, I wanted to talk about one of our favourite tiger books that we have. And it is called Tiger Who Came to Tea. A couple of years ago was its 50th anniversary. It was first published in 1968. It's written by a lady called Judith Kerr, and it's also illustrated by her, which means pictures are drawn by her. And it's all about a tiger who invites himself into Sophie's house. Sophie's a little girl, and her mummy are at the house, and the tiger invites himself in for tea. And what does the tiger do? First of all, he says, "Excuse me, but I'm very hungry. Do you think I could have tea with you?" Of course, Sophie and her mummy are quite pleased to have. They're a bit surprised, but they're quite pleased to have the tiger. And so they do invite him in.
And he eats everything.
He eats everything. Spoiler alert.
And drinks everything.
And drinks everything. And they are left with no food by the time Daddy comes home. Uh-oh. But anyway, it ends up fine in the end, because what do? They all go out for tea, don't they? To the cafe.
Yeah.
And they have sausages and chips and ice cream. Now, everybody, I'm just doing a little bit of detail with my big brush here.
Oh, yay, the stripes.
So again, obviously I got the white onto my brush, and I'm
the stripes.
giving...
The stripes are beautiful.
These are the hairy bits around his mouth. We're continuing here now with the teeth. And again, I am getting the white onto my brush, swishing the brush around there, getting some white on. And I'm going to start drawing the teeth down here on either side. As you can see, they're going from the edge of the mouth outwards on either side. I am popping some white onto the small brush. We're going to add some feathery hairs down here. See, I'm building them up. And while I'm doing these little details here, I'm going to tell you about another tiger in another very, very famous book. I'm sure you have all heard of The Jungle Book. And a lot of you will know The Jungle Book from the Disney movie. But the original story of The Jungle Book was written by a man called Rudyard Kipling. And his story of The Jungle Book was all about a man cub, his name was Mowgli, who ended up being lost in the forest, and he was taken in and looked after by a wolf pack in the forest. And so he grew up with the wolves and learned how to do everything he needed to do to survive in the jungle. But he had an enemy there, and the enemy was Shere Khan. And what animal was Shere Khan? He was a tiger. And Shere Khan the tiger was not happy to have Mowgli around. Shere Khan goes hunting outside of his territory one day against the laws of the jungle, and this means that Mowgli, in the end of the story, has to fight Shere Khan. Shere Khan, the big one, has shifted his hunting grounds. He will hunt among these hills for the next moon, so he has told me. It's a very special book, and I do recommend, if you're a little bit bigger, that you read it, because it is amazing. We've got our thin, slim, round brush here, and we are going to apply the black. Here's the black. I'm just getting a bit of black on the brush here now, using my warm water, getting the black on the brush. And we're going to start by adding the nose, because immediately that changes the face.
I look like a real tiger.
Starting to look like a real tiger now. And so now I like to make the mouth shape. So you bring that down there, that you place in the muzzle there, and you bring it around here. There. And you can see you're kind of cutting across some of the hairs that you drew there earlier, but that's something you can go back over. So last story I'm going to talk about is one of my particular favourites as a child, and Sammy loves these stories as well, and that is Winnie the Pooh. So in Winnie the Pooh, the first book was a series of stories all about Winnie the Pooh's adventures in 100 Acre Wood. And Winnie the Pooh, as we know, was a little teddy bear belonging to Christopher Robin. Now I'm drawing on whiskers here, if you can see that. Tigger is the tiger I want to talk about in that story. He doesn't pop up now until the sequel to that, which is...
Tigger always bounced on his tail.
That's right. The house at Pooh Corner is where Tigger first turned up. Tigger was an extremely popular character because he's so much fun. Always bouncing around, always having a lot of fun. And that's why he's so appealing to children, because he is like a little child himself. Pooh is woken up in the middle of the night by a lot of growling, and it happens to be Tigger. And so he stays with Pooh for the night, and he becomes one of the main characters in the stories from there on. One of the things he says is bouncy, trouncy, flouncy, fancy, fun, 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 fun. The most wonderful thing about Tiggers is I'm the only one. A.A. Milne was a great storyteller, and actually a lot of people say that a lot of Pooh's philosophies are things that you could live your life by. Pooh's a very calm kind of guy, and he lets life take him where it may. I'm going to just start filling in now some of the stripes that we see on tigers, and this is the fun bit. So I start around the eyebrows here, guys, and I bring the stripes up like this. And then I do a little bit like this and this. Now, of course, you can do your own, kind of stylize some of the stripes here just to make them look interesting. And then I'm going to bring them down like this. And there, our first tiger stripes. And then you can add a little bit here and here if you want to add those touches in up there at the top. I'm not being too precious about real markings on a tiger. We're just going to wing it a little bit here, but this is generally the style I do because it's actually quite easy to do. I use the shape of the face to dictate where I put the lines, so I just let them kind of, it's quite easy. Very quickly do our stripes in like that. I'm going to put a little bit more orange down into his muzzle area. And give him a few more little bits of orange in some areas, like here. You can create whatever tiger you like, really, because you can do a few designs on it that you like. It doesn't have to be, like I say, it doesn't have to be super realistic. Certainly if you're making your own kind of tiger from your own story with a tiger in it, let's say. So there we go, guys. That is our tiger. I hope you enjoyed this. And I really hope you enjoy World Book Day.
Yeah.
We love World Book Day. It's a great day to celebrate all kinds of creativity.
I love you.
I love you too. Here is the finished product. Sam is in his tiger onesie and he is ready to roar. Are you ready to roar, Sammy?
Roar!
Happy World